one by one. Now, here's what my thought process is. Each process has some inputs that go into it. And then as a project manager, you and your team applies some tools and techniques and you get some artifact or result. For example, because your goal is to develop a charter, you have a business case why you are doing this project, right? You have some agreements with vendor or client, and then you have some background assets that will help you, some environmental factors that will help you or block you. And then you will talk to experts, gather some data, interview people, brainstorm with some of the team members or stakeholders, have a focus group. If there is a conflict between different things, do facilitation and meetings and solve that conflict. But you will come up as an output with a charter and make some assumptions, because the charter, you will assume that if this goes right, that goes right, then only I'll be able to achieve this. Make sense?
No, I think Karun has dropped.
Oh, Karun has dropped. Can somebody send him a text? We'll take a break in 10 minutes. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
So I want your comments on this. Do you understood this process? Because all 49 processes are like this. In other words, all the 49 processes, as a project manager, what is your job? Your job is to apply tools and techniques, right? Like these techniques. Well, how will you apply tools and techniques? You will get something that you will look at, focus on, work upon, and then you will end up creating an artifact or a deliverable or a document which will help move the project forward.
He has bad network connection.
He lost connection?
Yeah.
Is he joining us?
I'm not sure. He just said he has bad network connection. Do you want to wait for him?
No, I'll just take 1 minute.
Okay.
Are you there, sir? All well? So I was saying that all the 49 processes have the same thing, right? As a project manager, you will get some inputs, you will analyze those inputs, you'll use your tools and techniques as a project manager, and then create a document that will authorize the project. In this case, authorize the project. In all other processes, you will have the same input, tools and techniques, and output, right? So what happens here? Requirements are finalized, scope is finalized, funding is authorized, and you move forward with the project. Any questions on this?
I have a question, Dr. Sam. So it says whether to start a new project or phase. So I was about to ask this question earlier. So if the project manager comes to, or the project team comes into an agreement that it needs to be multiple phases, Dr. Sam, that will be taken as multiple projects, right?
No, multiple projects means program management.
Okay, so if a project needs to be in different phases, how do we deliver it?
See, here's the thought. If you think, oh, we need a separate project for this, Then the program manager says these are two projects, but they are related projects.
Right.
Goes
Mhm.
to the PM, project program manager.
Yeah.
But if it is the same project and you have 5 different phases,
Mhm.
and nowadays in the agile world, the release word has become very common. Release 1, release 2, release 3, right? In the software development piece, there we call that version, right? Version 1, version 2, version 3, version control.
Mhm.
Same thing, right? So you have phases. We are doing this in 3 phases. Phase 1, we will build these 5 features and release the product. Phase 2, we will add another 6 features. Phase 3, we will do 10. And that is why in the agile world, if you see, the word MVP became very common. Anybody's heard that?
Minimal viable product.
Yes. And why it is that popular? Because earlier, following the PMBOK waterfall method, companies were investing billions of dollars, 100 million, billion, and waiting for the end product at the end, and then figure out this is changed. Everything is gone. New world has changed. Right.
The only reason why I was asking from an agile standpoint, I understand, Dr. Sam, but in case of a waterfall, so how do we deliver? Like, each phase would be delivered going through the entire processes or?
Yeah. Remember we talked about this phase gates,
Correct.
and we said one phase. So remember these 5 process groups in 10 knowledge area
Mhm.
and close. So this is one phase.
Okay.
And the next phase is the second phase, which comes after the first phase.
Which would be a new project, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've had so much discussion on this. There is an intellectual gap here, to be honest with you. But the way PMBOK looks at it is that a project can have multiple phases. Some people even argue, oh, so then why can't, do you mean a development phase and a testing phase?
Correct. Yeah.
Right? So, but seems like a project can be delivered in multiple phases.
Mhm.
And phase 1, we will release this. Phase 2, we will release that. Phase 3, we will release that. Phase 1, the bridge will be open to public, but not all 4 lanes. Only 1 lane will be operational from September 1st. Phase 2, we will deliver this by next year and 3 lanes will be ready. Phase 4, the bridge will be fully functional.
Mhm. Okay.